late April, and that can only mean one thing: time for the NFL draft. And like the NFL draft, there's tons of mock drafts out there. I have mine going down through the first round. Let's get started. Pick number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's pretty simple. Everyone rumored to be Luke Joeckel for a long time now. I have him as my second-rated prospect. Let's go ahead and put him up there at number 1. And number 2, Jacksonville Jaguars. They need a pass rusher, but apparently they really like Eric Fisher and the value that he's presented there. He's number 3 on my big board. Gonna go ahead, put him at number 2. I don't really think there's going to be any trades in the top 2 or even most likely the top 5. Just because I don't think there's anyone worth going up to get. Number 3, the Oakland Raiders. Wow, they are really bad. But I know there's a lot of Raider fans out there. So no disrespect. You guys stay loyal. Number 3, makes sense for them to go Sharif Floyd, the D-tackle out of University of Florida, penetrating 3 technique in the 4-3. Philadelphia Eagles. I think if they should get Tavon Austin and that Chip Kelly explosive offense, I hope they don't as a Rams fan. But I think ultimately they want athletic linemen that can move around, play that high tempo offense that Chip Kelly loves so much. So Lane Johnson, number 4, that may be a little bit of a reach, but when you want your guy, you want your guy. Detroit Lions, they really would like Eric Fisher, Luke Joeckel to fall down, but apparently they like the defensive end BYU, Ezekiel Ansah. Only very minimal experience, but he is an athletic freak of nature from Ghana. They need a pass rush. They got rid of Kyle Van Bosch and Cliff Averill, so they have no one to rush the passer. Cleveland Browns. This is interesting. This is when the draft could get really interesting in terms of someone trying to trade up. Maybe D. Milner. Someone really likes D. Milner, but right now all the top tackles are off the board. I don't think anyone's going to move up. Cleveland stays put and goes for a very highly rated pass rusher, and that's Dion Jordan, the outside linebacker out of Oregon. Also, take a quick note. That's a very high possibility. Dion Jordan could go number 2 to the Jaguars or number 4 to the Philadelphia Eagles, reuniting with Chip Kelly. Number 7, Arizona Cardinals. None of the tackles fall to them. They would like one of the tackles, but a nice backup plan would be DJ Fluker, who they apparently really like. The 4th-rated tackle out of Bama. This guy is a mountain of a man. Good luck trying to push him backwards. If he gets his hands on you, you're not going anywhere. Buffalo Bills, number 8. Buffalo. Just signed Kevin Cobb. What the heck are you doing? Who knows what they were thinking. But apparently they like Ryan Nassib. This is too high for Ryan Nassib at all, in my opinion. I don't even think it should go in the first round. But ultimately, they'd like to find someone to trade down with. I don't know who would want to trade up and for who, what. Maybe D. Milner, a team like the Miami Dolphins or the Saints or the Titans really like D. Milner and they want to move up to that spot and get him. Also, who knows, maybe the Rams want to move up from 16 to go get Tavon Austin. One second, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick change that error on my part. But ultimately, Ryan Nassib is the pick. I don't even think he's a top 50 pick. But when you like your guy, like I said. Number 9, the Jets, the first of their 2 first-round picks. They want a pass rusher. That's the bottom line. There's talk about Barkevious Mingo, the linebacker from LSU, but ultimately you go with the safer player, and that's Jarvis Jones. Didn't have a great workout, but he wreaks havoc in the background, and that would really bolster up the Jets' pass rushing defense. The Tennessee Titans are thanking the football gods right now because they get D. Milner, who falls to them to number 10. Some injury concerns, I don't get it. He's an amazing corner. That'll be a perfect fit. Titans have been looking for a corner for a couple years now. San Diego Chargers don't get at any of the tackles that fall to them, but that's all right because they will take a consolation prize, if you will, the #1 ranked player, in my opinion, Chance Warmack, the guard out of Alabama. Miami Dolphins really want to trade down, but again, maybe the St. Louis Rams, my team, wants to trade up for Tavon Austin. Maybe the Cowboys want to trade up and hop in front of the Jets and go get the guard, Jonathan Cooper out of North Carolina. Jared Jones is an aggressive general manager, so that could happen. But ultimately, if the Dolphins stay where they're at, Tyler Eifert, the tight end out of Notre Dame, kind of a reach in my opinion, but he is a very good receiving threat tight end. I know they just signed Kellen Davis, but they need a long-term answer. The front office there has gone all in on Ryan Tannehill, trying to get him weapons with Mike Wallace and whatnot. So anyway, number 13, the New York Jets with their second first-round pick. They really like the guard, and they need a guard. Jonathan Cooper, a little overrated in my opinion, but they could really use a guard to upgrade that offensive front. And he ultimately, I think, is the pick. 14, the Carolina Panthers. They are happy as well. Just like Tennessee Titans, they're elated that star Luke Tulele falls to them right there. Monster defensive tackle, immediately bolsters up that front four. New Orleans Saints, number 15, my cameraman, big fan of the New Orleans Saints, so he's anxiously awaiting. Kenny Vaccaro, they could go Barkevious Mingo for any pass rusher. Even Sheldon Richardson, the D-tackle from Missouri. But ultimately, they like Kenny Vaccaro, which I am not particularly high on. I don't even think he's very good. He misses open tackles. He can cover in the slot. He's an aggressive safety. He's athletic. Teams love him. He's a good fit right there for Rob Ryan's defense. St. Louis Rams, the moment I've been waiting for. Tavon Austin, wide receiver. They lost Danny Amendola, perfect fit, perfect replacement. The guy is electric, can score a touchdown from anywhere on the field. Pittsburgh Steelers, this is interesting. They could go with a pass rusher. They should go with a pass rusher. But the only first-round talent that I've seen them invite for a private workout is Xavier Rhodes, the corner from Florida State, which I like a lot. 6'2", he'll get up in your grill, bump you, press you. He'll get real physical. He can guard you man-to-man. Not great in zone, but he's that new big physical corner that the NFL is now turning to. The Dallas Cowboys at number 18 get some pretty good value. Sheldon Richardson, who I have as a top 10 prospect. They would love for a Chance Warmack or a DJ Fluker to fall to them to upgrade that offensive line, but they're gone. Like I said, Jerry Jones could go get his guy and move up. Also, if Kenny Vaccaro falls to them, that could be another option. New York Giants, number 19, Cornelius Tank Carradine from Florida State. He has risen up the charts in a hurry. I think New York loves his pass rushers. They didn't get a whole lot of production out of Jason Tuck and Osi Umenyiora, who was let go. So that's the direction I think they will go. The Chicago Bears, they need a replacement for Brian Urlacher. That's the bottom line. Alec Ogletree, linebacker from Georgia, very athletic, has some off-the-field issues. The athleticism is there. He has amazing range and coverage, sideline to sideline. I worry taking on blocks is not his strong suit. He's not very physical or strong, and his tackling form is very poor. He kind of suplexes running backs to the ground. I don't think that's going to work in the NFL. When you're going up against Adrian Peterson, he'll probably just throw you off. Cincinnati Bengals, they want a safety, apparently. There's a number of guys they could choose from. Jonathan Cyprien from Florida International, Matt Elam, safety from Florida. But they like Eric Reed, safety from LSU. I'm not crazy about him, but he is a tall, long, athletic, and he's clean off the field, which is something the Bengals aren't used to. He's a good fit in that aggressive defense. St. Louis Rams, their second first-round pick, number 22. Let me say this. This is where the trades for the quarterbacks, some of you might be saying, where the heck is Geno Smith? What's going on? What about Matt Barkley? I love Matt Barkley, and I think someone will trade up, whether it be E.J. Manuel, Matt Barkley, Geno Smith, maybe it's the Eagles, maybe it's the Jaguars. This is where the trade starts. But if the Rams stay put at 22, which I don't expect them to do, they need a safety really bad. They don't have a starting safety on their roster. Matt Elam from Florida, he's a playmaker. He's kind of small, but he flies around, he hits it, he makes plays. I like it. But like I said, my bet is that they will trade out of that 22nd pick, and you will probably see one of the top quarterbacks go. Quick note on Matt Barkley. I know a lot of people are down on him, his shoulder. He doesn't have the arm strength. He's not very athletic. What system does he fit in? And he was viewed as a top draft pick last year. Let me say this about Matt Barkley. Dan Marino was his junior season, had 20 more touchdowns, and was viewed as the #1 overall quarterback. Stayed for his senior year, threw, like I said, 20 less touchdowns. People didn't think he was as good. 5 quarterbacks taken in front of him. He was the 6th quarterback taken in the 1983 NFL draft. We all know how that worked out for Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins. So whoever ends up with Matt Barkley, I think will be very happy. Minnesota Vikings. I have a close friend, big fan of the Minnesota Vikings, so I know, Des, what the heck? You're going to be happy, my man. Just you wait. They need a middle, there's a lot of things they need. Primarily on the defensive side of the ball, there's interest in a corner, defensive line, but they need a middle linebacker. Rick Spielman, their GM, loves Notre Dame prospects, and he was the only one to attend Manti Te'o's workout. Manti Te'o, there you go, big guy. Just wait for your second one coming up in a minute. Colts at 24, they're in an interesting situation. This also could be another trade-out spot, but they need help defensively. Barkevious Mingo, who falls all the way to 24, which I don't know if it'll happen or not, but there was Melvin Ingram, the linebacker, the pass rusher last year out of South Carolina, was projected to go in the top 10, and he fell all the way to 18 to the Chargers. So you never know. Sometimes those pass rushers will fall. Those tweener 3-4, 4-3 defensive end guys. Minnesota Vikings, they need a receiver. They got Greg Jennings, but then they go get Robert Woods from USC. One of the surprise picks. There's still Cordero Patterson out of Tennessee that's still on the board, but they pass on him. They don't need another Randy Moss diva project guy in there. Robert Woods, solid possession receiver, runs excellent routes. There you go, big guy. I got you. Green Bay Packers 26, again, another spot where a trade could happen for E.J. Manuel, Geno Smith, Matt Barkley, what have you. But if they stay there, Aaron Rodgers, they just paid him a lot of money. He just re-signed a big contract. They need to protect their investment and give him some help. Menelik Watson, the only other athletic tackle left from England, kind of a project, Saddleback College. But he's very good in pass protection. He's very athletic, big, strong guy. Not the greatest run blocker, but he could step in there, provide some depth as a backup, and then work his way into the starting lineup. Houston Texans 27, need a receiver. All they have is Andre Johnson, and he's, what, 35? I know he's really only like 32, but he seems like he's old. He's always hurt. Cordero Patterson falls to 27, an athletic freak. You get the ball in his hands, he can score anywhere, just like Tavon Austin, except he's 6'2", 210, 215. Amazing in the return game. 27, Denver Broncos. They like cornerback Jamar Taylor out of Boise State. I think they should go get a pass rusher like Bjorn Werner from Florida State, very underrated. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick a couple months back, but for whatever reason, people don't like his combine numbers, or he's not big enough, strong enough, fast enough. So he's been falling. I think that would be a good fit for the Denver Broncos. They need to replace Elvis Dumervil. But Jamar Taylor, they want cornerback help, someone to come in, replace Champ Bailey when he's going to retire pretty soon. The New England Patriots need to fortify the interior of their defensive line, in my opinion. A lot of people have secondary, but I think they could go get secondary, nickelback, and some other picks. The Patriots only have 4 or 5 draft picks. It's the fewest they've had in a long time. Bill Belichick loves to trade back and collect draft picks. I think they could very well trade out. But if they stay there, Dayton Jones, the defensive end out of UCLA, would be a nice fit. Not really a rushing defensive end, but he's really good at shedding blocks, and he would be perfect for a 5 technique and a 3-4, excuse me. Atlanta Falcons at number 30. They also want cornerback help and a pass rusher. They could go Bjorn Werner, which, like I explained about the Broncos, same situation for them. That would be an excellent fit. But Desmond Trufant, a lot of NFL experience with his brothers. He doesn't have NFL experience, but his brothers do. Comes from a bloodline of excellent corners and football players, so that's a nice fit in Atlanta there, who needs to upgrade their secondary, who just lost Brent Grimes. San Francisco 49ers, they have an abundance of draft picks, and they're the most likely candidate to move up, but I just don't, that's not really their style, to move up and down in the draft. So if they stay put, which is possible, I think they could stay just because they have more draft picks than they can sign. Welcome back. The video kind of cut off a little bit, so I'm just going to continue off. I left off at the San Francisco 49ers, who, like I said, I assume they will stay put. It's very possible for them to move up, but if they stay put, Marcus Hunt, the defensive end from SMU, more precisely from Estonia, physical freak of nature, 6'8". There's a lot of buzz surrounding a first-round pick on him just because of his physical attributes. He grades out more at a second-round level, but that would be a nice fit to replace Justin Smith in San Francisco. Finally, 32, the Super Bowl champion, Baltimore Ravens. Look for Ozzie Newsome to trade out, someone who wants to move in at the last second for maybe a quarterback or a player like Bjorn Werner or what have you. But they stay there. A guy I've been high on for a long time, and that's Keenan Allen, the receiver from Cal. He's not the fastest, he's not the biggest, he's 6'2", he's pretty skinny, but he has amazing hands, his body control, his route running, he's crisp. He's the most NFL-ready wide receiver in my opinion. He could go higher than that, he could fall out of the first round. He ran in the 4.7s, but he's coming off a knee injury, so it's not 100%. That would be an excellent replacement for Anquan Boldin in Baltimore, in my opinion. Like I said, be ready to see some trades in the mid-20s, and it's going to be fun because no one really knows what's going to happen. A lot of smoke screens going on. It's like Christmas Eve, ready to open the presents. You're excited, you don't know what to expect, you can barely sleep. It's the NFL draft. I'm Dez. It's my mock draft. Thanks for joining. See you next year.